everybody, and welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. Welcome to another wonderful week of gaming. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're staying safe. And I'm so excited because we are getting to talk about some upcoming events, and I wanted to briefly mention to you, if you missed them, this is exciting stuff. First of all, the virtual convention with Board Game Geek and the Dice Tower is happening the last week of June, and we want you to be involved with that. This is essentially going to be where you can go online and you can find other people to play games with them, whether it's on Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator or on your iPad or through Zoom. All sorts of, any way you can play online. I'm going to be running games during it, like Werewolf and things like that. It's going to be fantastic, and there's going to be a good group of people who you can also join and play games with. So I hope you come out for that. Details for registration will be up hopefully this week. If not, they'll be up by the beginning of next week. So keep an eye on Board Game Geek for more information about that. Then the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular will be the week after that, the first week of July. And folks, I'm really excited about this. We got live game shows, a live podcast recording, the Dice Tower Awards, 5 top 10s will be happening that week. Sam Healy will be joining us for one of the top 10s. Crystal and Paula Deming will be joining us for one. My co-hosts on the Dice Tower podcast will be joining me. And who else do I have on these different podcasts for these top 10s? With just different people coming on board. And the folks from No Pun Included. I'm really excited about that. We're also going to be showing off a few new games that you have not seen before. There will be contests throughout the whole time. So if you come on, you'll be able to watch and win things. I'm very excited about this whole thing, and we're still working on the details for that. So stay tuned. But I'm sure you're here to talk about today and stuff that's going on right now. So let's get into it. Today I wanted to point out a YouTube channel that I've seen and come across called No Time for Games. It's actually a pretty small board game YouTube channel, but I thought it would be one that would be worth checking out. It's a humor channel, so I get that not everyone likes board game humor, as obvious by the people who do not like ours, although people would probably say we have no humor. A lot of what No Time for Games does is translations. Will show scenes and stuff from movies in foreign languages, and then just they're talking about board games. So there's that. But they just put up a video that you really should check out called 5 Tragedies, where it shows things that happen to a person that are like, what? I can't believe this just happened. They're not tragedies, obviously, compared to everything else going on in the world. But in a board gamer's life, you look at them and go, yeah, I get it. I get why you find that annoying. So I found this to be a fun little channel. Definitely one worth your while. If you're looking for a laugh amongst everything else that's going on in the world, check out No Time for Games.
Hi, everybody. I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games.
And today, we're going to show you another one of our favorite family games, Lords of Waterdeep.
Fun. Yeah.
Now, when we got this game, I wasn't sure I'd like it because it's not cutesy. I like the cutesy games with the bright colors and everything.
Cute.
But I like this because I like the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have 3 major mechanics to this game.
Yes. And it's card drafting, worker placement, which this game is known for, and also set collection. Trying to get your little meeples to get there so you can go on these, complete your missions. Your quest. Complete your quest. Yes. So, and also, it's a little mean.
Yeah, because sometimes if you want to slow your opponent down, you send them on a mandatory quest.
Or you just hit them with some real mean stuff. Them. Yeah, the entry cards.
Yeah, the entry cards.
Yeah.
But other than that, you get a chance to take your meeples. Now, we've kind of blinged ours out a little bit.
Yes, we did.
When you get the original, you're going to have little cube. But regardless whether it's cubes or meeples, you get a chance to get buildings, and people get to visit your buildings, and you get a reward when they come to visit.
Yes.
And it's just an awesome game.
It is. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Now, I thought you wouldn't have liked it.
No, I didn't think I'd like it.
But she does.
Yeah.
And, hey, I think your family would, too.
Yeah, I'm not a big Dungeons and Dragon person, but this is different, and I really like it. So if you don't have it, get it.
Get it.
It's perfect for a family.
Yes.
Our family loves it. I think your family will love it. you're going to love the quest.
Yes, and if you get the expansion, even better.
Well, that's all we have for you right now.
All right, have a happy and great breakfast. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone! Today on 2 Minute Mini, we're turning Lunk from Wildlands from this into this in just 2 minutes. Hey everyone, Matt here from the Plastic Canvas, and today on 2 Minute Mini we're painting Lunk from the Mages Guild from Wildlands. He's the big hulking guy that seems to carry around the bookshelf with all of their spells in it. So with this guy, there were two main elements that I wanted to talk about that I focused on. First of all was building a worn and chipped metallic look for his armor, and then the second part was all of the highlighting and shading that I did on his robe cloak thing over his back, because they seem to be the two main elements. So with his armor, what I did first of all was, for the main part, I mixed some black and blue into my silver metallic, just to give it a slight blue tinge. Then I put a black wash over the top of that to really take away the shine. And then when I came back with just the same color as the base coat with a little bit of shine to it, I just picked out the outermost edges of each armor panel just to really define them and make them stand out. But I did that inconsistently to give it a bit of a jagged edge, just to make it look a bit worn. And then I finished it off with the straight metallic, just very, very carefully, to bring a lot of shine back to those parts, which really helped the armor to look like it had been worn and beaten to different degrees. And then to start the shading for the cloak here, I just went to my darkest red and just really, really thinned it down so that I could gradually build those shadows up in layers and just feathering out the edges of each to blend it back into the base coat. And then for the highlighting, I just gradually mixed in lighter and lighter reds, and by the end I had orange mixed in there as well, just to build a really, really high contrast right on the top there to make it look like the top was getting hit by the most amount of light and not so much down the bottom. But if you'd like to see the full video for this guy, to see more in depth how I built those highlights up and built that effect with the armor, head over to my channel, The Plastic Canvas, and I hope you enjoy your breakfast.
So today I wanted to talk a little bit about 3D printer. We got a 3D printer here at Dice Tower. We've had it for a while, but we now have full bloom working, and it's the Prusa i3 MK3S. Now, I want to give a couple caveats here. I was excited about this. I did some research, and Roy did most of the research, and we looked into getting a good, solid 3D printer. I also would like one that prints with multiple colors, which is an extra kit you buy, and we have not yet gotten to that point. We're just running the 3D printer as is right now. But the 3D printer came in a million pieces, and Roy spent time painstakingly putting it all together. I'm really thankful. I have to say, for myself, this would have been a huge negative about it, because I don't like putting things together like that. I have no desire. I would have preferred, I get that, you know, you have to put some of the piece together, but it came in hundreds of pieces. It was like IKEA, and I would have been sad had I had to do that. So a lot of props to Roy for putting that all together. Now that it's together, we ran it, and there was some problem stuff. Running it now is a breeze. Roy has shown me how to do it, and as of a few days ago, I'm printing non-stop things. I go to a website called Thingiverse, where you can download STL files, and then I run them through another program on my computer where you can resize them, change them, do things with them. I'm mostly printing stuff for board games at this point in time, although I can use those other things. Like, for example, my daughter's painting miniatures now. So I printed out a thing that holds the miniature. You can put a miniature on it and hold it, a miniature holder, while you're painting them. I'm painting out various parts, inserts, dice towers, things like that. I like to upgrade my games. The initial cost for a 3D printer is high. I'm really happy, though, with the continual costs of it. The rolls of plastic are not that difficult, and I also like how easy the program is to run. You run the program, you put it in there, and it runs smoothly. You can mess with the quality. I prefer to put the quality higher than not, because I got time, so I might as well run these things longer. Yes, it's really annoying when you run a 6-hour project and there's something that small that messes up. And yes, I can still tell that the objects are 3D printed, although a small coat of paint takes that away completely. but I'm really happy with the quality of this machine. This is a big user manual here. This is the installation manual that shows you how to put all the pieces, and it's really clear, but I'm really glad I didn't have to do this. The 3D printing handbook here, I understand a lot of what's going on in this, but it's dumbed down enough that I could understand it. I'm fortunate to have Roy, who was able to set everything up for the printer. But now that I can run it, I will say that it's very, very user-friendly. I'm excited about this because there's a lot of cool things for board games you can print with this. Boats for Imhotep, special-looking cubes for games, little holders to hold the gates in Eldritch Horror. There's tons of board game stuff online, and I've just started scratching the surface of it. I'm excited to see more out there. And ours has been running almost non-stop. I play this timing game now where I'm trying to end it right before I go home from the studio each day so that I can start a big project that will then be done when I get there in the morning, and as soon as I get in, I start the next project. And so pretty cool. They're definitely not for everybody. The prices are more reasonable than they used to be. So for us, it makes sense because we're upgrading the Dice Tower library and putting in all sorts of cool plastic bits and components. And it's just the fun of just watching it work. You know, that's a neat thing too. So 3D printer, the Prusa one, I can highly recommend them other than putting the thing together at the beginning.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, well, today we're going to be talking about the Resistance Avalon. This is a hidden role game where you are trying to suss out what all the hidden information, who's the good guys, who's the bad guys, and all of it's kind of a mystery to you. And just like the mystery in the Resistance Avalon, I have a mystery going on right now. I have no idea how much I weigh, which is a real problem when you're trying to lose weight because you don't know where you're at. But the good news is I've been focusing a lot on non-scale victories, and that's something I want to encourage you to do too. What are some non-scale victories that you've had recently? Put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys.
All right, so the Resistance Avalon is a ton of fun. I've played quite a few social deduction games, and this one is my favorite. I played some before it to recognize myself with what it was, and some after it, but I still always want to revert back to this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perfect mix of theme, a good strong theme, that whole Merlin, Knights of the Round Table kind of a thing, and with good mechanics. It lasts the perfect amount of time. It never overstays its welcome, and every time we play it, we just laugh and laugh and laugh. And you can play it with friends, you can play it with family. It's the perfect social deduction game. Yeah,
I couldn't recommend it more. If you want to hear our full thoughts on it, go ahead and find us on YouTube or Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Well, everybody, this is Ryan. I'm Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
What's up, everyone? My name's Melissa McCack, and I'm here with my brother, Justin Maycack.
Hey, everybody.
This is Smashin' Buttons and Slammin' Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love, and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I'm going to have Justin talk about a video game.
Alright, so a video game I love is Total War Napoleon. You get to play through the Napoleonic Wars with different campaigns going through different wars, and you are able to really take full control over your different units during battles that you essentially decide to engage in, and it really allows you to have just full control over your armies during each battle.
Yeah, it sounds like a game I would like, but I would like to connect that to Command & Colors Napoleonics. So this is a game that's actually Justin's, but I do really enjoy this game. You are going through, there's different sort of scenarios in the box, and you're playing through some of the battles that happened during the Napoleonic Wars. There's tons of different units that you could control in order to ultimately win the battle. They're mostly just skirmish sort of things. But yeah, and then they even have like the square mechanic, the squaring mechanic, right? Which is a formation that was actually used in the Napoleonic War, which is pretty cool. I love how the Command and Color system sort of does that. The game seems more intimidating than it really is. There's just a lot of bits and pieces to it, but the mechanics aren't too bad. But anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you could check out our channel called Room 51. We will be doing a 12-hour-long marathon stream on June 20th on Twitch. So stay tuned for that. Catch you next time.
Take care.
So what's coming from the Dice Tower this week? Well, this week's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be reviewing almost any games this week. Well, I will still be continuing the 10,000 and below series. But what we're going to be doing this week, because Roy is taking vacation, so I didn't want to give him a lot of things to edit, I'm going to be posting, I've been doing my What's Happening, where I'm playing through apps, and that's still happening 3 times this week, playing different games. I'm also doing it double. I'm doing it double the amount of times. Well, I'm going to be playing against Z some games. I'm even teaching Z Terraforming Mars on the app for the iPad. So I'm excited about that. We'll be doing that, and Mike DeLisio will be playing live this week a little bit. We're also going to be all playing live tomorrow, the new Nemesis Lockdown game. So come on board. We'll be playing that on Tabletop Simulator. Hopefully you enjoy that. Board Game Breakfast is still going up this week, and on Thursday, I'm going to be going back in time, and now that we're almost halfway through 2020, take a look at the games that came out in 2019 and just an overlook at 2019 as a whole. It's going to be me, Z, with special guests Richard Ham from Rahdo Runs Through, and Travis Oates from the TV show that they've been putting out, and I'm excited to have these guys here. 4 different opinions. I hope you join us Thursday afternoon for that. So there'll be plenty of videos going out this week. I hope you enjoy them. And of course, our audio podcast, Eric and I have put one together that'll be going up tomorrow. Check out all our podcasts in the network at DicetowerNetwork.com.
Howdy folks, welcome to By the Numbers. My name is Hunter Thomason from the Family Showdown. On this episode of By the Numbers, we're continuing my Through the Year series where I look at the best game on Board Game Geek by year. We started with 1970, this time 1994. Taking a look at the top 5 from 1994, we see the number 1 game is Blood Bowl, 3rd edition, coming in at 344. Blood Bowl is a fantasy football game, where you draft professional players and you get points based on how well they actually perform in live professional sporting events. Wait. Orcs and humans fight each other in a fantasy-themed football game. Blood Bowl is one of my most played board games of all times. I played it like crazy in high school and college, but I played the 2nd edition of Blood Bowl. The 3rd edition actually is where the rules radically changed, and they look more like the modern rules of Blood Bowl. Taking a look at the rankings of all the Blood Bowl editions, we see that the 3rd edition is actually the highest rated edition of Blood Bowl. Taking a look at the ratings, over 5,000 of them, we see tons of 8s and lots of 7s and 9s for an overall rating of 7.5. Taking a look at the weight, it comes in at 2.98. The basic game isn't too complicated, but it has tons and tons of little small rules. All the different races have unique abilities and players. There's spell casting. There's ways to upgrade your players to professional. There's all sorts of stuff. There's campaigns. There's leagues. All sorts of stuff going on. But the base game isn't that complicated. I still get my Blood Bowl fix, though, with the computer game. Still to this day, I play it every once in a while. It's awesome. Play you some Blood Bowl. See you next time.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope that you are having the same kind of fantastic weather that we are experiencing right now in the area of the United States that I live in. It's been really sunny and just the right amount of warm to make you kind of want to go outside and just hang out for a while. And as a result of that, the forested area behind my house is just awash in a sea of green. And that got me thinking about my favorite tree games. So that's what's up for you today is my top 3 tree games. So first up is Bossk. Now this boasts a gorgeous color palette that looks amazing on the tabletop. And it also has wee little squirrel meeples that are just, friggin' adorable. Additionally, it's the only game that I can think of that you use leaves for territory control. Next up is Photosynthesis, in which you actually get to grow your tree from tiniest little acorn all the way to full maturity. And you've never really thought about how sunlight or any kind of light reaches every single angle until you're trying to reach up and catch as much of it as you can. Last on my list is Arboretum, which got a reprint a couple of years ago from Renegade Games with gorgeous art by Beth Sobel. Now this is a smaller card game which you're just doing a little tableau building in, but oh man, will you be thinking for a long time about just which card to add and which one to give away and hope that your forest winds up being the best. Now, one small caveat. Even though these games have a really peaceful, serene type theme, tree games have a tendency to be kind of cutthroat, so keep that in mind when you bring it to the table. And if there's any other game that features growing things, plants, or trees that you really enjoy, drop it in the comments below so I can take a look. If you enjoyed the content, check us out at Girls Game Shelf, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Welcome to Survey Says, where we survey you listeners and we discuss the results. We are the Board Game Weekenders. I'm Steven.
And I'm Colby. In this week's episode, we asked which of the Azul games from Plan B Games is your favorite? All right, so this week we had 33 people answer, and the highest was 9 people who have not played any. This is a big surprise for me, especially with the popularity of the base Azul. My personal favorite is regular Azul, though. I think it's just so streamlined, and you can get that family weight style game that is a little bit more thinky.
I think like any movie, like the initial release always usually gets, the most feedback. I think a lot of the people that haven't played any of them, I wonder how many of them are like Azul snobs, where they're like, we don't want to play Azul, it's too popular.
My thought was that perhaps it was maybe heavier gamers that know that this is a lighter game, and so they knew it wasn't going to be their cup of tea.
Yeah, I agree, and I think some that haven't played all 3 of them, they might have played the first one, liked it, and thought, I don't really need any other ones. They all kind of do the same kind of thing.
If we were to poll more people and more people answered this, I think the regular Azul would just skyrocket.
I think it's like Stained Glass and Summer Pavilion, just from seeing comments and things online. It seems like those two are pretty close. A lot of people have like a favorite out of one of those two, so it doesn't seem like one of those two is kind of far ahead of the other. Thanks for checking in on this week's episode. Let us know your thoughts and the results in the comments below.
Look out for next week's survey on our Twitter at BG Weekenders, and make sure to tune in to the next episode of Survey Says.
As human beings, we make a lot of assumptions, and I will never forget when I was 16, I was working at a job, and one of my bosses said to me something, and I said, well, I assumed blah, 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 blah. And then they explained to me why one should never assume, and I had never heard that before. And yes, assumptions often can be disastrous, but we often talk about assumptions when it comes to playing games, and we make them ourselves. And I think sometimes we have to be careful about the assumptions that we make. So this happens all the time on our show. I'll say, Z, I assume you would like this. And Mike, I assume you would like that or not like this or what have you. And we're often right, but sometimes we're dead wrong. But sometimes we make assumptions which aren't really grounded in reality. And by that I mean just because someone likes a particular topic does not mean that they will necessarily like a game about that topic. So Wingspan. Oh, you like birds, so you'll probably like Wingspan. Well, guess what? There's a good chance that is true, but it might not be. Somebody likes a particular sport does not mean they'll like a sports game. Someone might like a TV show. They might love Battlestar Galactica, the TV show, but they may not like Battlestar Galactica, the game. And we kind of make that assumption. We'll be like, well, if you like this, you'll like this. And then we feel sometimes offended. You like this game, but you don't like this? If you like this, I assume you'll like this. Well, that's not always the case. And and sometimes we don't even have a good reason. They're like, I just don't like this for whatever reason. And so our assumptions fall short. It makes it very difficult when you're buying gifts for people, right? I'm trying to buy a game for someone, so I will assume they like it. And at the end of the day, we got to make these assumptions at some point. We have to say, hey, this is what I know. No, here. I assume this is what you'll like. I think this is what you'll like. That person that you can't buy anything for because you don't know what they'll like, and anything you can think of, they have. So it's a tough thing. And I think at the end of the day, we have to just use our better judgment on it, and we have to make assumptions. But we have to temper that, I think, with the expectation that sometimes our assumptions are going to be wrong. I thought for sure you would want to play this game. Well, no. I thought for sure that if I just did this, you would do that. And this is an assumption I think we have to be careful of. I think we assume that when we bring out a game to someone who's never played games before, that halfway through the game, they're going to stop. There'll be small trumpets from the sky, a halo will come down, a light from heaven, and they'll be like, this is the hobby I've been looking for. Now that actually happens. Well, maybe not the halo part, but yeah, I've seen people's eyes turn on and they're like, this hobby's amazing. But it won't happen for everybody. And we always have this assumption, right, that this person who's not a gamer, maybe they're related to us, maybe they're our spouse, brother, mother, son, whatever. If I just find that right, perfect game, they'll go, I like this game. Not only like this game, I now like all games. And that's an assumption that I've made before, right? Like, I have kids, some of them don't like games as much as the other. I'll play a game, they're like, that game was really fun. I'm like, yes, I have found the game. Now you like all games, right? No, bye. And that's the way it is. So, just something to think about. Let's keep going.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about Arkham Horror, the card game, and my experience of solo gaming. Now, it's kind of my first venture into solo gaming past a roll and write. The card game I've played now both with people and as a solo game, and I must admit I won't play it again as a solo experience. I don't think it changes the game too much. You are effectively playing as your character, drawing cards, playing cards, and moving kind of from room to room. They're cards and stuff like that. And there's some narrative on the cards, and you're going to sort of experience things as you go along. But by playing it solo, I found I missed the interaction element of the storyline. Interacting with the other person, saying, oh, that was really cool, oh, we've done this, you do that, I can do this, we'll work together as a team. You don't get that as a solo gamer. For me, it felt just like I was trying to crack a puzzle. I was trying to play my cards in the right order to overcome it, rather than experience sort of more of a narrative, a story with someone else. I think it's probably because if I'm on my own, I will play a video game to get my solo gaming experience. And then if there are other people around, I'd almost rather play a board game. So maybe I'm biased from that sense. I just found that it felt lackluster as a solo experience. I didn't feel that there was a fun storyline. It was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, right, what's my next problem? Rather than trying to get into the experience, maybe it was just a mindset, and maybe I hadn't overcome that, or find the right game to overcome that. But for me, at the moment, roll and writes are the only thing I'll probably solo, and even that will be only once in a while. Do you find that problem with solo gaming, or am I completely wrong? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'm Oliver East, signing out.
Hi guys, and welcome to the second to last call video.
This feels sad a little bit. At the end of an age.
End of an age.
That sounded very, like, proper or something.
Yeah, after these couple, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll come up with something, though.
We'll come up with something.
Number one.
All right, number one.
Patchwork. One of the first polyomino games to really get things started again. Not like, obviously, the first or anything. But this one kind of spurred a little bit of a push for these things.
Yeah, it did.
And this one is actually one of my favorites. It's quick, it's light, but it's still thinky. Yeah. And you have to be careful about, producing buttons early, so that, because they're a currency in this game,
Which is
that's
so
how you buy other tiles to complete your interconnected patchwork blanket.
I love when people actually put, like, real buttons in the game. And that was one of our, like, first games of our collection, too. It was, like, it was one of the young ones.
Age of Artisans, Artifacts of the West Kingdom. You can see this is still in shrink.
Yes, it is. Shiny.
And I don't think we're keeping this one.
Yeah, we're going to get rid of it. I mean, just whatever. Because it's our second copy.
Yes. So
we're keeping it, but
I
not
ended up
that.
getting 2 copies of this for some reason, and I have to get rid of it. But Age of Artisans with Architects of the West Kingdom, this is a fantastic expansion. I would not call it essential because of West Kingdom being so good already, but gosh, this adds some great stuff.
It really does. I loved it.
Big meeple and a bunch of cards. Good stuff.
A big meeple and a bunch of cards. What else could you ask for?
Super Motherload. This is a deck builder with a board element to it. And this is actually one of my more higher
you love this
deck
game.
builders.
And I feel bad because I played it and didn't love it. And now, oddly enough, like 3 days ago, I was thinking about this game out of the blue. And I'm like, I'd really like to try that again. I think somebody might have brought it up in one of our live chats.
I think so, but it's you're a deck builder, but then you're drilling down as part of like some board movement. Yeah. You're trying to find different gems and things for points. This one is fantastic.
It is a cool game. I was wrong for not liking it originally.
All right, guys.
Did you guys hear that?
Thank you for joining us again. And yes, Ellen was wrong. This one is great.
Okay.
And we'll see you on the next one.
And that's it for another Board Game Breakfast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to all the contributors, as always, for doing a fantastic job. I'm excited about the Virtual Con coming up and Summer Spectacular. I'm excited about the things going on this week. I'm just excited about gaming in general. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you're not having a fantastic day, then I hope that our channel helps it just make it a little bit better. Thank you for making our lives better. We'd like to get back to you a little bit in that regard. So watch us, laugh with us, make fun of us. We're here for that. We appreciate all of you. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.